Hello, everyone. It is Miss Mealanie again. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, Mealanie. Okay, now I can see you, but I can't hear you.
Hold on a second. I'm trying to figure out why I can't hear you, but now I'm hearing you through my computer speaker.
Technical difficulties. I cannot hear you, hon.
I am having all kinds of computer difficulty. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
I don't know. I can't hear you. Let's see. I'm going to go to private chat.
Hold on a second.
Okay, now I'm back, and oh my gosh. I don't know. Okay, now we're both back on the screen, and I still can't hear you. Oh my gosh. I don't know. What a mess.
Can you hear me now?
I have no idea. It doesn't show you muted on my end because you would have a mute across your name.
I don't know why it doesn't hear me. Can you hear me now? This is insane.
Oh, no. Technical difficulties. You guys work with us just a moment, please. I see someone is watching. If you don't mind commenting, let me know you can hear me at least, okay? And see me. We're going to work this out, I hope. Hey, Lisa, how are you? You could hear her, but I can't hear her. That is so strange. So you heard her, but I can't hear her. So it's my end. Oh, I know exactly what it is. I apologize. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's try that again. Can you hear me now? Okay, you can hear me, but okay, give me one more second. I know exactly what my problem is now. I think.
I can hear you, but can you hear me?
So everybody can hear you but me.
I can't even see where people's comments are. Oh, there they are.
Okay. 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 My
Hi, everybody.
apologies. It was still hooked up to the car. So you were going through the car and the car was off. I couldn't hear you through the speakers.
Ah, I
Oh
was
my
freaking
gosh.
out. I was freaking out. Hold on. I don't know how to.
Oh no. Good morning, Lily. Good morning, Lily. Good morning, Jelly. Good morning, Jennifer. Ah, welcome to the Hot Mess Express. We're going to get this right.
What I was trying to see the comments, but every time I go somewhere else on this app, it takes me completely out of the app. It's like I don't know what to do. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you so much for being on my side. I'm fangirling a little bit this morning. You just don't understand.
Yeah. It's been a little bit I'm trying to get this figured out. I'm like, I don't know how to do this. Can you see what's being commented? Because I can't.
Okay, I'm putting them across the screen. Can you see them now at the bottom of the screen?
Yes, I can. Good morning, empath.
Hello, Empath. That's Amy. Good morning. And we have Lisa Hadenbeck. She says good morning to both of us as well.
Hi, Lisa. I'm
Okay, so
just
if
glad
you
I.
guys have any questions for Mealanie, please put them in the chat. I'll read them here in just a little while. Cheers. Coffee this morning, Mealanie.
Good morning. It's been a crazy morning. It's actually cold here for the first time. Well, it's not cold to you guys' standards, but to Florida standards, it's cold. I woke up, the windows are open, the doors open. It's beautiful outside. I had an artist do this for for my little Shih Tzu. Everything's backwards.
Aw,
Hand
that
painted
is
that Christmas ornament for me. That's Toby.
so sweet. I have also had a crazy morning. So,
Yeah,
you
happy
know,
birthday week, by the way.
well, thank you. As you get older, for me, I start celebrating a little longer and a little longer. So
Yeah,
the whole week is just for me.
well,
Okay,
it
so
should be.
yeah. So what is the temperature there this morning? We are at 42 this morning here.
I think I woke up to 54,
That's
which,
pretty cool,
considering it was 90 degrees yesterday, that feels pretty cool to us.
especially when you left the window open. I can imagine. I can imagine.
Yeah.
Okay, well, for people here on my side who don't know you, I don't know why they wouldn't know you, but if they don't know you, could you give us a little nutshell of what pre-keto was for you?
Oh gosh. I've been on YouTube for 5 years and I have experimented and documented my journey through the Mediterranean diet, through genetic weight loss, through I did a 90-day raw vegan challenge. I did a vegetarian challenge. I was a vegetarian. Actually, they call it pescatarian. I ate fish and eggs, but everything else was vegetarian. My numbers kept getting worse. My diabetes kept getting worse. The inflammation, the arthritis, the headaches, the high and low blood sugars. The medications kept doubling, the blood pressure, the heart arrhythmias. And I had a friend that I wasn't a very good friend to. As a matter of fact, I lost a friend because she was on keto and she dropped like 100 pounds in like 6 months. And I was struggling. And I kept gaining weight. No matter what I did, I was gaining weight. My health was getting worse. And I had a hard time celebrating her accomplishments because I didn't want to hear anything about keto. Because in my mind, keto was the same thing as Atkins. And back in, I don't know, about 15, 20 years ago, I was hospitalized and I had a doctor that was opposed to the Atkins diet. They were a plant based doctor who told me that the Atkins diet was the reason that my heart was damaged. And turns out it wasn't true. I went to a neurologist that verified that at some point in my life, I had a small stroke that damaged the neuro pathway from my brain to my heart. That's why I would go from one rhythm to the other rhythm, and then my heart would just get tired. So then I would have all kinds of heart issues. And, you know, one of the biggest misconceptions about keto is you shouldn't do it if you have a heart issue. But I honestly reached a point. I think one of my first keto videos was a video called I Lost My Ninja. And that was 2.5 years ago, where I just bawled in front of the camera because the doctor did my blood work. I was so excited because I had been plant-based for 6 months, no cheats, no nothing. And I found out that my blood sugar was worse, that they had to increase my metformin. I found out that I now had a fatty liver. I found out that I was now considered metabolically resistant. And so it was just like one of those things where it was like the icing on the cake. And I'm like, I can't do this anymore. And so I thought back to my friend Holly and the one that I wasn't very supportive of. And, you know, and I thought, what do I have to lose? I'm dying here. I mean, like literally, I'm dying. I'm on 4 medications. I'm being hospitalized on a regular basis. They can't seem to control my highs and lows in my blood sugar. I'm dying here. So what do I have to lose? And so I went on keto. And when I first started keto, I named my channel The Keto Critic because I wanted to prove you guys wrong. I wanted to prove all of you wrong. I wanted to prove to you that my health was going to get worse, that my heart was going to get worse, that my cholesterol was going to go through the roof, and there's just no way you can sustain this keto diet. And I'm now celebrating 2 years and 7 months keto. I've been off all my medications for a year and a half now. I'm no longer considered a diabetic. I recently had a DEXA scan and I no longer have a fatty liver. So all of the things that they tell you that you can do on keto is possible, and I'm living proof of that. So I would have to say that I don't do it for the weight loss because you guys have watched a lot of you have watched my journey. I am a turtle. I can do everything perfect. Calories can be perfect. Macros can be perfect. Eaten clean, no processed foods, no snacking, intermittent fasting, and maybe lose 2 pounds a month. So I do this for the health, really. I would like to lose 20 more pounds, but I pretty much do this because I don't want to go back to where I was.
Right. And are you comfortable at your set point now, though? Are you comfortable where you are at this point?
Depends if I'm wearing clothes or not. So if I'm in the mirror naked, no, I'm like, oh God, I need to lose 20, 30 pounds. But honestly, if I'm wearing a good, comfortable pair of jeans and a nice t-shirt, I'm like really comfortable with who I am and, you know, really comfortable with where my body is. And I think my results are a little different on keto anyway, because I work out. So when I had that DEXA scan and they told me that I have almost 0% organ fat, like I have none of the dangerous fat. Every bit of fat that I have on my body is the subcutaneous. It's just under the surface of the skin and can be worked off. You know, so I'm really not in a hurry because none of the fat that I have right now is what they call dangerous fat. It's not impacting my health, my blood glucose, it's not. The only thing is that I do have rheumatoid arthritis, which will never be cured by keto. I can prolong the agony, but I can kind of slow down the progression, but I'm never going to get rid of, I'm sorry, the camera angle is kind of weirding me out. But I'm never going to get rid of rheumatoid. And I know that the more fat that I can take off, the more muscle I can build. I'm going to kind of lessen the symptoms of rheumatoid and be mobile for longer.
Right. The inflammation part of the rheumatoid is where some of the pain comes from. So if you can, because I also have that. So
Yes.
let's see what we have in the comments here. I don't think anybody posted a question, but I may be wrong. We have Lisa D Vlogs. Good morning, Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
Lisa Hadenbeck, we are birthday twinsies. Mine was also on the 27th.
Aw, happy birthday. 64 in North Carolina.
Good morning, Carolina Hillbilly. Good morning, Vicki Marie.
Good morning, Vicki. I know Vicki.
And then Diana is laughing at us for whatever reason. I don't know what we said, but Diana's laughing.
Maybe the comment about being naked depends on whether I like my weight or not.
So, if you could give a piece of advice to somebody just starting keto, what would your one piece of advice be?
Don't watch a lot of YouTubers. Because that's been, I've had to stop watching so many people because they push the snacks, they push the treats. You get these sensational weight loss, like I lost 15 pounds in 2 days, and you get all of these things. And for someone like myself who loses weight incredibly slow, it's hard for me to see that. And it's not that I'm not happy for these people. It's just, I get inside my head. You don't need the treats. You don't need the snacks. Do this with the intention of doing it for life. Don't set a goal weight loss right now. Just set yourself, 5-10 pound increment goals. And that way you're celebrating your entire journey, not just one specific weight. Because I can tell you what I've learned from keto. It's different than any other diet that I've ever been on, in that this morning on Facebook, I posted a non-scale victory. I bought this shirt a year ago, and I'm only 7 pounds less today than I was a year ago when I bought this shirt, but this shirt didn't fit me a year ago. Now it fits me, but I've only lost 7 pounds. You know what I'm saying? So don't get wrapped up. Find somebody that resembles your journey. Find somebody on YouTube that you can connect to. Build a relationship, establish a relationship with them. Find somebody that has similar struggles. Try to do the best you can, and don't let anyone put you in a box, which is what I see a lot of people do. I experiment with a lot of different types of keto macros. And I oftentimes get a lot of criticism from people saying, if you're not doing 75% fat, you're not keto. If you're not da 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 da, you're not keto. If you're in a state of ketosis, you're keto. You're keto.
Right.
You can eat nothing but keto junk all day long and still be keto if you are producing ketones and using ketones for fuel. That's a state of ketosis. But don't put yourself in a box. Don't confine yourself to one type of keto. Keep an open mind and find somebody that you really relate to. You relate to their story. You relate to their addictions. You relate to their their eating disorders. Someone that you can feel like you're on the journey with. And so, yeah, that would be my advice. I mean, my channel isn't one, like I don't have a lot of products. I do product reviews, but I don't promote a lot of products. I do a very clean, simple keto. And right now I'm kind of recovering from losing my dad. And so I've been on vacation. I haven't done weight loss macros. I've just been keeping it keto and trying to just every day celebrate the fact that, hey, I'm going through a really difficult time in my life and I'm keeping it keto. I mean, there's something to be said for that too.
Yes, and my condolences. And I went through that something similar a couple of years ago, so I can totally relate to the whole journey. And shame on those people who dropped you because you were sharing real life, I couldn't have filmed it when I was going through it. So I totally understand.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to do a cleaner too. I'm doing a stricter version now too. So I appreciate your feedback on those products as well, the cleaner side of things.
Oh, that unbread was horrible. I gained 4.5 pounds. I'm like, okay, we're not going to do it's literally UNBUN, unbun.
Unbun.
And they're made with like, really, they should be keto friendly products and the macros look good on them. But holy cow, I've reacted to something in them. I gained 4.5 pounds. I ate one and gained 4.5 pounds of water weight. I'm like, oh no.
I finally got my hands on that Aldi bread, and I had 2 slices of the Aldi bread.
Is it
It
good?
was
Do you
so
like
good.
it? I'm sorry?
I love the taste of it, but the way it made me feel and my body reacted to it, I'll not have it again for sure. But
Have you
the
tried
taste
the
was great.
Have you tried the Julian Bakery Keto Thin?
No, is that something you would have to have shipped out here to me? I'm sure we don't have
Yeah,
hardly
I
any.
have to have it shipped.
Oh, you do?
And the bad part is you have to buy it 3 loaves at a time. But when I buy the loaves, you can freeze it. When I buy the loaves, I take little squares of parchment paper and separate the slices. That way I can keep it in my freezer and only take out 1 or 2 slices at a time.
That's a good.
It's not really good by itself. I mean, I know this sounds horrible. When you first open the package, it smells like French toast.
It's
That's
that.
exactly what it smells like. And it's kind of got that eggy texture, but it's 1 total carb per slice. It's made with fat, egg, and almond flour. That's it. It's like got 4 ingredients in it. It's super clean. But what I found, I love it, is heavily toasted. So if you put it in a toaster or you grill it, like make a grilled cheese, it's super good. It's really good if you do French toast. I did a chaffle with it, like a French toast chaffle kind of thing, and it was super good. So, I mean, I've had it a couple different ways that it was delicious. And like I said, I put it in my freezer and separate it by wax paper. That way I can just take it out a couple slices at a time. And it lasts me a long time.
I may have to look into that. Lisa wants to know, do you think the Zevia drinks are worth the money? Because
not all of them.
Flavor that you get.
This is my favorite.
Which one?
I gotta be honest with you. The orange Zevia tastes like crap. I don't like it. The Mountain Dew Zevia tastes like crap. I don't like it. But this is called grapefruit citrus. This one is really good. I like the grape. The grape flavor is amazing. The grape flavor, the cream soda, and the ginger root beer, but you've got to like ginger. So I don't like all of them. The strawberry was disappointing. The lemon lime was disappointing. But if you can find the kids' Zevia, it is amazing. At one point, there's a sour apple. At one point, Disney contracted with Zevia and they made kids' flavors. They've got a pink lemonade and a sour apple that are to die for. And it's Zevia. They come in little tiny cans. You can buy them on Amazon. They are amazing. The flavors are outstanding. If you're just wanting to feel like you're drinking a soda, you know. But to me, I can buy them locally. Publix carries them, and so does the local health food store. And I get a 6-pack for about $7. Just keep in mind, I only allow myself one a day. So I guess it just depends. Like some people pay $2 a day for coffee, $3 a day for coffee. I pay $1 a day for a Zevia.
$4.51.
Yeah, $4.50.
Yeah. They have just added a Starbucks here near me, and we haven't had anything of that nature at all ever. So I've went a little crazy on the coffees here lately.
Yeah, I love coffee too.
Hmm. Do you like cold brew or are you a hot coffee?
Both. In the summer, being down in the South, it gets humid and muggy. I
Yes.
have to have hot coffee first thing in the morning. That
To start.
first hot cup of coffee. And then in the winter time, I'll drink, 1 or 2 cups. I try to cut myself off around 2 or I won't sleep. Caffeine does affect me that way. And then that's also why I like Zevia, because most of their flavors are caffeine free. Um, and then I have iced coffee sometimes in the afternoon if I'm feeling hungry between lunch and dinner and I don't want to eat something. I'll make myself an iced coffee just to kind of hold me over till dinner time.
I use it as a dessert. My coffee.
Yes,
Even
yes.
though it's not sweet, I'm just saying instead of having a sweet, sometimes I just have coffee instead.
You know what was good? One time I took heavy whipping cream, a couple drops of monk fruit sweetener, and I took some instant coffee and I made a coffee whip and then freezed it. God, it was so good. It tasted like coffee ice cream. It was so
Like
good.
espresso ice cream fat bombs or something. That's neat.
Yes, they were really good.
You shouldn't have told me that.
Well, heavy cream affects me. Like I have to really watch how much dairy will impact me. I've noticed that if I eat more than 1 or 2 servings a day, like so if I have a slice of cheese on my eggs like I did this morning, I try not to I keep almond milk in the refrigerator and then I'll use that instead of coffee creamer. So I just know like today, normally I'll have a yogurt. I won't have a yogurt because I had a slice of cheese. If I have a yogurt, I don't eat cheese. So, because I've just noticed if I eat more than about 1 serving of any dairy at all, that I have an inflammatory response.
Right. People are agreeing with us. Good morning, Miss Gail. She says good morning to us.
Good morning, Gail. Sorry, guys, I can't see the chat. I mean, I can see it up here, but it goes by very quick.
I wish I knew how to put them up there where they would scroll themselves, but I'm new to
Yeah.
this platform, so I'm not sure about
Me
screen.
too. I almost didn't make it this morning trying to figure out how to do this.
Well, I stopped at the red light down here and I thought, oh goodness, let me do some punching on this phone. I'm not gonna make it. Uh, I should have made it. I should have had plenty of time, but you know how things get away from you. You're trying to do everything that you're supposed to do and then all the things you want to do. But sometimes it just doesn't. Um, so Lisa's agreeing with you. She says that the dairy inflames her as well. I,
So let me ask you a question.
okay.
How do you feel about the holidays, cheat days? How do you feel like are you of the mindset that you should hold aside those kinds of days for special treats, or are you of the mindset that you really just don't? Because I know for me, I can't because I have a hard time. Like if I have a cheat day, I have a hard time coming back. If I have a cheat day, it's days before the sweets and the carb cravings go away. So how do you feel about that?
I am also an overeater. And so if I even go anywhere near that path, I'm on it for 4 or 5 days. It's not just that one. I can't go to Thanksgiving dinner and have mama's dressing and come off of just have that one thing. I just can't. That's not me. Then I want a little more. Well, then when I have the dressing, I think, well, I've already had the dressing, so that's kicked me completely. So I might as well have what I want while I'm out, and then I'm going to get back in, which is now probably a month down the road. So if
Yeah.
I think if people can have the one treat and only the one treat, it could be fine for them. But for me, I can't do that. I just simply can't have the one thing. Not now, maybe someday.
No.
Now.
And I think that's been my biggest problem. And the crazy thing is that I haven't cheated on keto through this whole thing. Not one time have I like said, I'm going to have a plate of spaghetti or I'm going to have pizza. And as a matter of fact, 3 days after my father passed away, My husband was eating pizza. I literally grabbed a piece because I was in that very self-destructive, that's screw it. I don't care. I'm in too much pain. I want to go numb. And I literally looked at that pizza. I was in tears. And I'm looking at this pizza and I'm like, what am I doing? What am I doing? And I put the pizza up. But do you know, emotionally for the next 4 days, I was like, why didn't you eat it? Why didn't you eat it? That was stupid, you know? And then I started like, it is so crazy for me psychologically what cheating will do to my brain. It's, I start, see, because if I look at that special food as a treat, then when I can't have that special food, then it feels like punishment. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm trying to get away from using food as a treat or using food as, because when I can't have it, it feels like a punishment. And then I find myself getting in this really toxic state of mind, like, oh, I can't eat this anymore. And I stop celebrating how amazing keto food is. And I start just focusing on what I can't have and what I can't eat. And then it no longer feels like a lifestyle. It feels like a diet. I
Right.
mean, so it's really hard for me to have those cheats and have those treats and stay in a very healthy state of mind.
It's hard to go out into public gatherings as well. I know you're still working and they're having functions and the people pushers. My mother-in-law likes to, one bite is not going to hurt you. One bite is not going to hurt you. Well, are you going to come pick me up off the floor in a month from now when I'm now crying and I'm upset with myself and I'm feeling terrible again? And that one bite sends me over the edge because I'm addicted to sugar, just like you wouldn't offer an alcoholic some champagne in New Year's.
That kills me. It kills me. If I knew somebody quit smoking, I wouldn't smoke around them. If I knew
Right.
somebody had an alcoholic problem, I wouldn't drink around them. If I knew someone was suffering with chronic severe depression, I wouldn't tell them, you know what? I think this world sucks, dude. I think everything sucks right now. And I think you should be sad. Why would you, to a food addict, someone who binge, I mean, like I have shared my story out loud, and there's so many people that know my story because of, I'm very open about it on Facebook. I'm very open about it on YouTube. Even when I struggle, I mean, just the other day, I cheated on the keto foods. You know what I'm saying? I had like a 3,000 calorie day. I ate a whole entire pint of ice cream. It was keto ice cream, but still I had a binge, and I just don't understand some of the mentality of it's okay, it was just one day. But I mean, I don't really think that people who've never had like the binge eating thing really can truly wrap their head around or understand the consequences of that, like how you feel the next 3, 4 days. It's not even the moment that you're binging or directly after that you're hating yourself. It's what you emotionally put yourself the next 3 or 4 days after a binge, and the just self-destruction.
Well, they also don't understand the sugar depression connection. So when you don't have that sugar there, you're not as depressed in my case. But when you get to that point, you're in that depression state and then you're beating yourself up on the top of that. So it's not a healthy place to be at. Good morning, Regina. Regina is saying hello to both of us.
Hello, Regina.
Lisa
Yeah,
has
how's my blood sugar?
blood
Oh,
sugar.
okay. So Lisa, that's a good question. For some reason between noon, so I do 2 meals a day. I do my first meal sometime around 10, 11 in the morning, and then I do a second meal around 6 o'clock at night. My blood sugars look great all day. They look great before I go to bed. They look great when I get up. But for some reason, even though I'm not snacking. Some reason between noon and 4 o'clock, my blood sugars have been dropping in the 70s and even in the 60s. And then a couple weeks ago, I had a very scary episode with the 50s, and I started feeling hypoglycemic. But I was also doing an extremely low calorie version of keto. I was doing the 1200 calories for weight loss, but I got to get out of that. I can't do it. I felt like crap. I felt weak. I had no energy. My blood sugars were dropping low, but now I'm sitting back in the 70s and 80s again. So I think it was directly tied to the low calories that I was doing, that my blood sugar. But still, I'm noticing a drop in the afternoons. My sugar is dropping. So I haven't quite figured out what it is, but until it gets to a point where it's a concern, and if it's starting to impact my health, or if it's starting to impact the way I feel, then it becomes a concern. So thank you for asking. I'll keep monitoring it, but right now it looks good. I think it was just super low because of how low my calories were.
Trying to make sure we don't have more questions. And Jelly over Fat Taquito said she can go to Thanksgiving and have the one bite and walk away now. So I hope to get to that point for sure, but I'm not there now. Not there. And so you had brought up the calories. So I see some people doing the keto with the extremely low calories, and then I see some people doing keto with extremely exorbitant, calories, that I think that's just going a little overboard, but they seem to still lose weight. So I know you're a great proponent of trying to find out what is best for you. So where did you kind of start at on that end? And you just kind of answered the where you are now part of it. But did you ever, when you first started, did you count macros and calories and that kind of thing, or did you start with the large?
No, I've always tracked, but I kind of followed the philosophy. So this goes back to, if you're starting keto, the one piece of advice I'd give you is don't worry about weight loss your first 2 weeks. The stress that your body's going to go through transitioning from being a carbohydrate burner to a fat burner is going to be pretty intense. You are going to have sugar cravings because you're depriving your body of something that you have run on for fuel, right? So your body's already going to be craving those items. You're going to want those items. I believe in the philosophy that when you first start keto, that you eat fats and proteins until you are full. Eat till you are so full that you can't eat anything else. After a couple weeks, when you're going to naturally start losing those cravings. You're going to naturally start, your appetite's going to change. And then when you start getting into week 3 and week 4 and week 5, you can start trying to figure out where you're at. I am definitely a proponent. Like if somebody came to me and said, Mealanie, where would you suggest I started calorie wise? I would say start at 2000 calories. Do that for 2 weeks. If you don't lose any weight on 2000 calories, then come down 100 calories. Do 1900 calories. If you don't lose anything on that, come down to 1800, right? But I don't ever, because see what happens with us, I think psychologically, is if we start at 1800 calories and we're steady losing a pound a week, then we get into this mindset that, oh, less is more. So then, oh gosh, if I'm losing a pound a week at 1800 calories, let me drop it to 1700 calories. But each one of our bodies has a threshold that when we meet that calorie threshold, it's going to say, nope, this is too stressful. And here comes the cortisol. So you may be running a calorie deficit, but the cortisol is so high that you're not in fat burning. You're starving yourself. And once again, this is a lifestyle. It's not a punishment. It's not depravity. It's not anything like that. So back last year, I did a reverse dieting. I think Keto in the Chaos is doing it now. Right. But she found herself in a position where she had been low calorie for so long that when she tried to go to maintenance, she saw weight gain. instantaneously, because your body will get used to one calorie level. It'll get used to that calorie level, and then it's not going to try any harder or any less. So I think that you've got to find I definitely recommend that you log your food, because how are you going to know where your calorie level's at if you're not tracking your calories? And when you're talking about doing a lifestyle, a eating plan where fat's going to take up 50% of your calories, 1 gram of fat has 9 calories. One bite or taste of a sauce, a fat bomb, whatever could mean the difference of 100 calories. I mean, think about what's in 1 tablespoon of heavy cream, 1 tablespoon of butter. So having a bite here, a bite there, and not tracking it, you could have calorie creep and you could have carbohydrate creep. So I definitely recommend until I mean, I can't see myself tracking forever. Just got to be honest with you. I can see that when I hit my goal and I get into maintenance, when I've reached a point where I'm like, I'm done losing weight, I'm just going to do my thing. I don't see myself tracking. I've just been doing it for 5 years now. I know what a portion size is. But if I start gaining weight, keep the scale to be my reality checker and step on the scale. And if I start gaining weight, then I need to start tracking again and see what I'm doing wrong or whatever. But for me right now, my target is 1,500 calories, because 1,200 was too much. I was sick. I did not feel good. That cannot be good for my body. You know, my blood sugars were dropping into the 50s. I was feeling horrible, headaches every day. I can't live like that. So.
Gail Crabtree has said that, Mealanie, my endocrinologist has mentioned a late afternoon slump to me several times. So,
yeah, that could be something. Yeah, that could be. Yeah, that could be something that I have. Because back when before keto, if I was going to have a hypoglycemic event, it would be between lunch and dinner. Never in the morning, never at night. It was always between lunch and dinner. So it could just be something biologically that's happening in my body.
Lisa, the challenge is going well for me, but there's a lot of other challenges other than the weight loss part of it. Daily vlogging, I have to hand it to Mealanie. She daily vlogs. I don't and haven't daily vlogged in a while. I'm only on day 5, and it's very stressful. It's very time consuming to video, to edit, to upload daily. It's getting to me, but thank you for asking. Jelly even tracks her water, so that's a good segue to that. I did want to ask you about that. I'm doing this challenge with other keto weight loss people, and my water has been low according to some of them. Where do you stand on that? Is there a water level that we should strive for, or do you strive for a certain amount of ounces per day, or how is your thinking on the water aspect?
If I'm thirsty, I drink. I mean, okay, so I live in Florida, so that's really not fair. 9 months out of the year, we have 90% humidity or higher. You sweat your butt off just walking from your house to your car. And I have a job where I work outside in the heat. I think your electrolytes are far more important than your hydration. I think having the salt, the potassium, and the sodium, because it is a known fact, and they actually warn you here in Florida, they will actually tell you you can drink too much water. You can die from too much water because you flush the electrolytes out of your kidneys, and then you lose potassium, you lose sodium, and you do that. That's when you start talking about heart palpitations, you start talking about heat stroke. So if I'm out yesterday, for instance, I did 4 hours of yard work. It was 90 degrees. It was hot. So what I did was I started my morning with a glass of water, and then I kind of just paid attention, okay, my shirt's soaking wet. Obviously, I've lost that water. And to give you an example, when I woke up and got on the scale with nothing to eat or drink, my weight was 190 point something. When I came in from doing 4 hours of yard work and sweating, my weight was 188.2. So I lost 2.8 pounds of water out there sweating. So for something like that, yes, water, your hydration is super important. But if I'm inside working in an air conditioned office, I know I'm not sweating. I would have to say for me, I usually drink 2 or 3 of the 16-ounce bottles of water, and I'm pretty good with that. But if I start noticing leg cramps, if I start noticing that I'm really thirsty, if I start feeling fatigued, sometimes I'll do water just for hydration. But I used to track how many glasses of water I drink a day. I don't anymore.
Just when you're thirsty.
When I'm
Diana would
thirsty.
like to know, are you net carbs or total carbs?
I am a total carber. But right now, while I am working my way through some really tough emotional times, I am maintaining. So I've changed my carbohydrates to 25 total. I don't usually get there. Usually my carbs are somewhere right around 18 to 20 total carbs. But like the other day, I ate that unbun that caused me almost 5 pounds of water weight. And so my total carbs were 36, but my net carbs were 14, So I do kind of track both just to see what affects me. But yeah, I track total carbs.
Good morning, Abby. How are you this morning?
Good morning.
So were you always did you just, you might have said that. Were you always a total carber, or when you first started, did you do net, or did you just start out with
I started out with net. And yeah, I started out, I think, okay, so there a lot of people that come to keto at a very large weight with a lot of weight to lose and some very, very bad eating habits. I came to keto from a vegetarian diet. So I was already calorie counting. I was already maintaining 15 to 1700 calories a day. For 5 years now, I have made it a goal to walk 2 miles before work. I think that's why I didn't see the same weight loss results that a lot of people do. You know what I'm saying? I was already living a calorie restricted lifestyle. I was already walking. I was already physically active. So, I think that's why I also think that's why my results were more inches. For instance, I went 6 months without losing a pound, not 1 pound, but I went from a size 18 to a size 14. I lost 6 inches off my waist, during this time that I did not lose any weight. And Dr. Barry has a video where he talks about going from not eating enough protein to eating enough protein. Your body's just going to naturally repair itself. So I used to do net carbs, but I think out of frustration, because, no matter what I seemed to do, that I wasn't losing weight. The scale wasn't moving. I think out of frustration, I went to a stricter version, and that's when I switched to total carbs from net carbs.
Same for me. The net carbs give me a slippery slope that I could squeeze all the treats and the bars and the too many of those kinds of things into the situation. So I changed to total and saw more progress. Good morning, Julia.
Good morning. Yeah,
Do you
honestly,
have any questions for Miss Mealanie?
Honestly, in my opinion, if you're doing a clean paleo version of keto, it doesn't matter what carbs you're tracking. If you're not snacking and you're not eating a lot of packaged foods, if you're just eating meats, leafy vegetables, just your basics, and most of your carbs are probably just going to come from seasonings and dressing and vegetables. I really, that's why I'm saying when I get to a point of maintenance where I'm just done with weight loss, I probably won't track, but it'll be really important for me to stay strict, paleo, as clean as I possibly can.
I believe that for me as well. We are kind of I'm 4 years in. So at this point, our bodies are used to it, and it's hard to give it a little extra for me and not have some backslide. So
How far are you from a goal weight?
I'm sorry.
Do you have a goal weight, and how far are you from your goal weight?
My first goal weight set was 150. I'm 167. So I'm a little closer than I would, but I'm thinking maybe more towards 135 or so. I'm only 5'2" as well. Um, so, but we'll see. It's getting harder and harder to lose the weight, but here we are. And the age doesn't help. The age doesn't help.
No. No, I
Goodbye,
also think
being
I
here.
think bye, thank you. I also think that works against me too. So I had uterine cancer when I was 26 and had
Wow.
to have a hysterectomy. So I
Mhm.
hit menopause super early, which does
Mhm.
horrible things to your metabolism.
Mhm.
Once your estrogen's gone, that there goes the skin elasticity, there goes your metabolism. And so I I went through menopause, like full on menopause between age 32 and age 45, but I'm completely on the other side now. And I had every symptom. I had the facial hair, I had the adult onset acne, I had the weight gain, I had the tiredness, I had the crabbiness, the emotional. Every commercial that came on TV made me cry. I mean, it was horrible. The night sweats, the hot flashes. It was like my
Ashes.
ears would turn blood red and I'd just start dripping sweat. Whew, it was
Through
a
a hot
rough.
place. I can see why some people just break, Mealanie. I just
Hmm?
honestly understand it now. These things are about to kill me, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I think my biggest thing right now, I think the thing that gets the most in my way is the fact that I'm a person that suffers from anxiety. It's called functioning anxiety, which means that I'm constantly got to keep busy. I got to keep busy all the time. And I think that I'm probably putting myself under a whole lot of stress. I don't sleep well. I maybe sleep 5, 6 hours a night. I think all of that cortisol probably slows things down for me a bit too. I'm wondering if things will change when I'm retired and I'm not working and I get to sleep a little bit longer because I have a very long commute to work and I work very early in the morning. So, not by my own choice. I
Right.
need a job. So, I have to get up at 4 in the morning. And
Wow.
by the time I get home from work at 5, 6 o'clock at night and get dinner ready and everything else, I'm not winding down till 9 or 10. And so that doesn't leave a whole lot of time to sleep.
Right. I'm averaging about 5 hours, so I understand. I also have a 45-minute drive into where I'm working, so I understand that as well. I'm a housekeeper, and so I have about two places I go to a day. Uh-oh. I'm in the way of the delivery guy.
Are you going to need to move?
I don't know yet. I think he goes to the back, but I'm not sure. That is very dangerous. He's parked on in the highway on the wrong side of the road.
Mm,
But anyway, sorry, squirrel.
that's okay. That's okay. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to do this interview. I've never used this technology. So now that I know that this technology exists, that opens up some possibilities too. But
Yes,
so what are your,
it's
go ahead.
it's web based, so it's I mean, I'm only using a cell phone, so it even holds up through pretty good through the cell phone. And there's a lot of options, and since you have a computer, you could probably see all the options, but you could move things around and have banners and all kinds of things. You can have up to 10 people on a platform at the same time too, Melanie. So if
Oh,
you're,
that's
if
great.
you're strong enough, so it's really neat.
So the one thing I want to leave everybody with is If you guys are looking to start a fitness habit in November, for the full month of November, I'm going to be doing a 30-day challenge where every day has a theme, like Move It Monday, and Talk About It Tuesday, and Walk It Out Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? Try something new. And what it is meant to do is to get you used to doing 20 to 30 minutes of activity a day, and then starting somewhere and then just building on it. Let's see what Julia says. What's the best way to combat snacking and sweet cravings? It's my biggest downfall. I'll let you go first on that question.
That is my niece, and I have shared with her before my take on that. But it is to just get those sneaky sugars out of the diet completely. I mean, you're just going to have to. I know that sounds harsh, but you just have to get rid of some of those things to do the sweet cravings. And I don't have PCOS or anything of that nature giving me extra cravings, but the less sugar in your diet, the better for you. That's what's fueling the sugar cravings.
I think what I recommend that people do is find the lesser of two evils, right? So what you do is you find yourself something super clean, guilt-free, super clean, something keto, right? Like I found that whipped cream cheese and a little bit of unsweetened coconut, some monk fruit sweetener. I make myself these little coconut fat bombs and put them in the refrigerator or whatever. The problem with me is being a binge eater. I can't just eat one. It's not about me going and buying a Lily's chocolate bar and breaking off one little square every single night. That ain't happening. If it's in my fridge, I'm eating the whole thing. And once I've eaten the whole thing, now I'm going back to the store to get some ice cream because that just wasn't enough to feed this sugar beast. But I would have to say, find yourself like the super coffees. I love the Keto super coffees over ice. That feels like a dessert coffee. Just kind of change your mind. Try, if you're going to give yourself a treat, try to eat that treat with a full meal. And what has helped me a lot is eating until I'm full. Okay, to give you an example, while I've been going through this grieving process of losing my dad, I have been I'm not, so what if it's 2,000 calories? So what? So what if I don't lose weight tomorrow? My mental focus has shifted to, was I able to eat 2 meals today and feel completely satisfied? When I start depriving myself of calories, when I start saying, oh gosh, I know I'm still hungry, I just ate dinner, but I'm still hungry, but if I eat anything else, I'm going to bust my calorie budget. To me, it's more important to eat till I'm full than it is because I know I'm just going to set myself up later if I don't. Because when I start feeling hungry, that's when this starts feeling like a diet. It's when I start feeling deprived. But find the lesser. You got to find foods that kind of satisfy your, hey, I just had a treat craving. That don't do a lot of damage, and that the most important, that you can control yourself. But talking to somebody that's a former binge eater, I have very little control when it comes to sweets and treats. So the best thing for me has just been like, if I am absolutely craving something absolutely sweet, I'll do an iced coffee. I'll have a little extra heavy cream. I'll tell myself in my head, okay, well, this is a little bit too much dairy. You'll probably gain a pound tomorrow. But see, the first time I eat that Lily's chocolate bar, now I'm going to gain 4 pounds tomorrow. And then tomorrow, I'm going to have to fight to keep from going to the store to get more sweets. Right. So I have to pick the lesser. Like, what is the easiest fight to win? And so for me, it's about finding treats that you can still kind of satisfy that sweet tooth without busting your budget and without setting yourself up for failure later.
Yes, Julia CVS has those coffees that she's talking about. super
Yep.
coffee.
Super coffees. Hazelnut and vanilla are my favorite.
I like the mocha.
Oh, do you?
They're pretty good, pretty good. And they're in my area, and that's very interesting because we don't have a lot of keto options here on the shelf, just somewhere you could walk in and buy it off the shelf. And Julia, I would also do just the 2 weeks, as Mealanie was talking about earlier, just do 2 weeks of full keto. Don't worry about where nothing is. As long as it's keto, just eat it for 2 weeks and then go from there. That will help you. Okay, I can't see that anybody else has dropped us any more questions, Mealanie. I do want to say thank you for your time, and I don't want to take up all day. I know you're on vacation, and you enjoy the rest of your vacation. And
I will.
on your side.
Well, thanks for having me. It's been great talking to you in person, and thank you for introducing me to this format. We'll have to definitely do it again. Maybe we can collaborate and do a keto for beginners interview. Maybe we can figure out how to get several of us on.
Oh yeah.
And do like the best advice for New Year's, keto New Year's, because it's coming up. We're about to get that influx of brand new keto YouTubers on January 1st.
Searching for the keto beginner stuff. Yeah.
Yes. All right. Well, I've enjoyed the conversation. I've enjoyed the chat. Thank you to everyone that loves Miss Michelle that came to her live today, her interview. Thank you for the love and support.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.